Hello.
Hello,
How you doing, young sir?
fine, and you?
Good, good, good. All right, all right, all right. How have you been?
Uh, I've been good for
Good,
now.
good. All right, good, 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 good. Man of ours. So what's going on? Last time we had a cool lesson about the
Space.
universe and stuff. So
Yeah.
what's going on?
It's same actually. And what? How's yours?
Good, good, good. Everything's groovy like a movie. I'm still here, you know, but everything's groovy. So what would you like to talk about today?
You have choose it for the day.
Nah, it's not my choice. I'm 62 years old. So and how you're what 16 or something like that?
Yeah. I'm 15 now.
Okay, yeah. So you got to give me something to talk about with a 15-year-old, that's highly intelligent. So what's going on? You know, we can talk
Um,
about girls if you want to, but
no,
you know, but you ain't got a girlfriend yet?
I don't care something like that.
Okay, no problem. You will. It'll come up.
And if you want, we can speak about universe or something again.
Okay, so you want to go talk back more about the universe? Well, go ahead, start the conversation. You got the floor, young sir. Tell me more about what you want to explore about the universe.
I said travel. No,
What you want to go? Would you maybe you think you want to go ahead and go with science fiction?
it's okay.
Something different because we talked about the real probabilities of the universe, and
Yeah.
so now I guess we can try and see if science fiction. Let's see here. See if I have some science fiction questions. What's your favorite science fiction series?
Actually, I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah.
You never like watch Star Trek or Star
Actually,
Wars?
I don't watch something like that, but I watch like something. What's the name of it? Um, I don't remember, but something like Star Wars, but
Explain,
it's
explain, explain me the series. I may know what you're talking about. Explain me the characters and what goes on in the series or the movie. I've probably seen it.
um, I don't know.
What happens in the series?
They have lost in the space, and they
Okay,
have tried to find way to Earth.
is it with the family?
Yeah, if I'm not
So there's a brother and a sister.
yeah, it might be.
Yeah, and they're lost in space.
Yeah.
That's the name of the series. It's called Lost in Space.
Oh,
That's how I knew what it was. Yeah, that was a series that came about first in the 1960s, and I used to
oh,
watch it all the time as a kid. And then they redid it in the early 2000s.
oh
So
yeah. That this is the movie.
yeah, with the robot,
Yeah,
Will Robinson, danger, danger, Will Robinson, and Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith was always the one to like, you know, the first one in the '60s, like Will, you know, come over here, young man. Well, he was always doing something bad, but they kept him
yeah,
there because he snuck onto the ship. He was a stowaway. Yeah, but I
yeah,
like Lost in Space. Yeah, they kept trying to get home. Yeah, I mean, it's a good series. I enjoyed it. I always watched it as a kid. Watched it in black and white, and then it became color. So yeah, that's one of my favorites. Um, so what is science fiction to you? What's the definition of that?
definition of science fiction.
Uh-huh. You're looking it up, and I'm just saying in your own mind, what would it be?
Um, Actually, it can be lots of things.
Can it? Like what? What does your computer show you? Like what?
Um, if I write science fiction
Uh-huh.
to Google, it's always it shows me pictures like um what's the name of it?
Like Starship Enterprise, stuff like that.
Base at universe at space, or something like robots
Yeah. Yeah.
and black holes.
Right. Right. So you take the word fiction and you take the word
Yeah,
nonfiction. So if I say something is nonfiction, that means, of course, something that is like real, like a documentary or a biography of someone, if I
yeah,
write about that. So science fiction means something I can make up. Like you can make up a science fiction story and say, on this planet's blah, 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 blah. But the cool thing is that with science fiction, the closer we get to the world changing, the more it becomes actually nonfiction because we have robots that are about to come into
yeah,
play. Like you, probably by the time that you're in your 40s, it'll be normal to live with people who look like robots. I'll be an older man by then, but by the time you're there, it'll be normal. And we may even have in our house. But like Stephen Hawkins would say, that could be very dangerous too, because robots can evolve and they can start to say, well, we don't need humankind telling us what to do. So that's why they actually do movies about science fiction right now about robots taking over the world, which, if we're not careful, yeah, they
yeah.
could. They
They
could.
could.
So that's the dangerous part. Um, so what science fiction from the past is science truth today? So in other words, what science fiction from in the in the past or what a ways back in time is really something that's true today?
Um, Before that, as I remember, the TVs have shows some movies that uh, have a robot or something in it, or a film like uh, clones animal or something.
Well, also what we're doing right now.
Yeah,
Back in the 50s or 60s, I would watch TV shows that would have people talking on a screen. Not necessarily a computer screen like this, but like a TV that they would have at that time. And they would be talking to someone like we're talking. That was on a science fiction program like The Outer Limits. But see, now we're doing it for real. So
yeah,
this is something that I saw on a TV show when I was a kid. And for me to be doing this now is like, whoa, it's wild. It's wild because yeah, I would think, yeah, okay, possible. But me being this age and being able to do this, and it happened fast. And even being able to talk to someone on your watch. I watched that on the cartoon show The Jetsons in the 1960s, where people could like, hey, George, Mr. Stone, blah, blah, blah. You could see somebody. Now, back then, it was like, that's just,
yeah.
that's, but
It's
now,
normal for now.
but now it's normal. It's normal. Flying cars are here because they're
Yeah,
doing hover cars. How that happened. But yeah, it's all. And just think how someone who from say 1920s, if they were like time machine to our time, they would have been like, "What is this? A plane, a rocket? What? How? Yeah, they'd freak out.
Yeah,
You know?
they have clones direwolves now, and
Yeah,
before 10 years, we have seen that it might be, it isn't something real,
yeah,
but now they have clones
yeah.
this.
And it scares some people. Like my mom's about to be 89. Some of these things scare her. You know,
Yeah,
because she can't understand all of it, and it scares her. So, and if you have grandparents and you ask them, "Does anything scare you about the future?" and they'll tell you there's certain things that they can't see or they like.
yeah.
So, why do people find science fiction so fascinating?
Because the life passed fast. We don't care how does our day goes. Like I've got course on this day for my lessons,
Hmm.
and I don't think that's how's my day this day. If
Hmm.
I think maybe my day passed better, or I can think that my day passed so cool,
Hmm. Okay.
but I don't. If I don't think something like that, and the time passed fast, like the Apple's workplace.
Hmm.
As I remember, the peoples have go there only work, and
Hmm.
after work for 8 or 6 hours, and they get out from their work, and they don't remember that what they did in there.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. What is the? I don't know if you watch a lot of movies, but what's the best science fiction movie ever? Was it what you just said, Lost in Space? Because that's a TV series. Have you ever watched a science fiction movie?
Um, 1 minute. Does transformers is something like
Yeah,
science fiction?
it's a science
Yes,
fiction movie.
it's the best one.
Okay. Yeah, it's hard for me to listen. You know, I've only seen. I've seen him on TV, but I have seen him once in the theater. It was just so loud in the theater. I don't know. It's easier for me to watch those kind of movies. At home. I can
Yeah,
turn down the volume.
yeah.
So, what things from science fiction do you think will come true?
Um, Venom.
Venom,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah,
the
it can't.
parasite thing.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it can't be true. I
I
think.
mean, you think it will become true? Because
No.
that's the question. So you don't think, well, what things will become fact from what you
Oh,
see now?
uh,
I mean, as far as like
trans-
science fiction.
Transformers might be
So you think,
because
okay, go ahead.
they have do robots, and if they have do much more thing for robots,
Hmm.
they can did them something like um, car and robots,
Hmm. Okay,
or
well,
plane or robots. It's
yeah,
same.
well, yeah, well, if you say it's true, it could one day it could be. If the robot decides to be something different, it could make itself become that. Sure, I think in a smaller scale, it could absolutely. Um, would you like to be transported into a future science fiction world if you had a chance? And they say, okay, we're going to send you to this world where everybody looks like you,
Um,
or something else like that. It's a different world.
it can be uh, cool, but its feature, as you say, I don't know what it's been at there, or how the life can pass at there. That's why, like, there's flying cars, and if I go there, I don't have any cars or something. That's why I must use a transportation, or I must call taxi. But because of the flying cars, I don't know how to call them. I don't have any phones or something. Or if I had a phone for from this time, maybe it changed a lot for that time, and that's why I can't use this phone on my daily life.
Okay. Well, all right. Okay. I'll put this in there. Let me see here. Put this question inside chat. Okay. The question is, Star Trek creator Gene Roddenberry said science fiction is a way of thinking, a way of logic that bypasses a lot of nonsense. It allows people to look directly at important subjects. Do you agree?
Actually, it's correct,
Why is that?
because before 10 years, we
Hmm.
don't think that something like robots have been, or direwolf have been correct, but
Hmm.
now it's something like someone think that we can do this.
Hmm.
Our technology is bad, good for, we can do this thing with the technology that we have now.
Hmm.
Uh, it's 1 minute. Oh, it's sophisticated. 1 minute. I am copied.
Okay.
I pass it. How can
Sufficient.
I read it?
Sufficient.
Sufficient.
Hmm.
It's sufficient with this technology that we have,
Hmm.
and they do this clones. And now, if I'm not false, there's three direwolves that live for at now. But before 10 years,
Hmm.
it's something like someone thinks that only.
Okay.
They think maybe it can be. And after 10 years, they have to do this.
Okay. So, in other words, what science fiction you're saying is that um, what people thought at one point and said logically, this can't happen. Like someone would have said, let's say 30 years ago, then logically, what we're doing right now just can't happen because they were only thinking with what they had with equipment at that time 30 years ago rather than thinking about future equipment, which
Yeah.
I had a student here one time on Cambly, and he worked in a place in which they do stuff like this. They make science fiction nonfiction. And I asked him a quick question. I said, will we have a way to even bypass what we're doing here, how we speak. And he said, yes, we've already done that. That's why the city of Neom in Saudi Arabia, when it's finished the next several years, will be a city of all future. They'll have robots.
Yeah.
They'll have flying taxis, all that. And they're also going to be able to do, which they're going to get. And my sister was in computers for a long time. What we're doing right now, in a short while, I'll be able to talk to you, but my image will be transferred to where you are in Turkey, and you'll be able to be right here with me in America, sitting in front of me, rather than this way,
Yeah.
because it'll be a hologram like they
Yeah.
do in the movies now. So holograms are a big thing, and the guy said, "Yes, we've already done that,
Yeah,
but we
they have
haven't
done.
we haven't we haven't released it yet, but we've done it."
Like at here, there's hologram zoo
Yeah,
that's public.
they have that, and they also have a hologram from people who were survivors of the Holocaust in the
Yeah.
1940s. There's a whole program that they did maybe 10 years ago where they recorded them and asked them different questions, and they take them to different school districts around the world, and students can ask these survivors different questions, and the computer, because they uploaded all these different answers, they can answer them, and it's a
Yeah.
hologram of them. They've already died.
Yes.
Some of them already died years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. As I remember, they do something like you said, and they cloned the brain of that people,
Well, they can.
and
Yeah.
they have a right paste this brain codes to computer.
Mm, yeah, some of 'em. Well, right now I'm not sure. Well, you could be right. Could be more brain, or they're working on it. But right now they're like asking them a lot of questions before they die
Yeah.
and giving them different scenarios. Yeah, which you'll be able to do one day when your parents get old, where you can say, "Mom, Dad, I want you guys to go over here and do this program." It takes about 2 weeks, and they'll ask them all the questions. So that way, I wouldn't want it because I think it's kind of creepy. But that way, your parents would never leave you.
Yeah.
It's creepy when you think about it. You know, you're able. How long's your parent been passed? Oh, my parent has been gone for 10 years, but I can just talk to him anytime I want to. So they're gonna have stuff like that. Or if you have a pet or a dog, they'll be able to go ahead and clone your pet or dog, which they can already do that too. So there's some things.
Like
Something. Go ahead.
chat GPT is something like you said.
Yeah, yeah. ChatGPT can go ahead and you can give them information. They can write not only papers, they can write your story. You can just give them information on you, and they can write a whole book on you real quick. So yeah, absolutely.
And it saves the informations that you give about you. And if you ask, uh, can you explain me on your own,
Mhm.
it have explained to you that you have asked the questions that you asked, and the informations that you have give about you, and it have get them in a paragraph, and it gives to you in 1 second or something.
Yeah, yeah. They can go ahead and do what you want. So do you think we're living in the age of science fiction right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. But all we have, yeah. I think we're definitely in there. Who is the greatest science fiction character ever, in your opinion? I can tell you mine. Greatest science fiction character ever. Um, Probably Darth Vader. Even though he's a bad guy, I think he would stick out the most.
Let me think. Was that? Maybe Eddie. That's. Does I say the real name of it?
What, lost his face?
Tom Hardy, as it's right.
Oh, Tom
It's
Hardy.
called. It's called Eddie
Venom.
in the film.
Venom.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
I
Yeah. His
think you
name
watch a
Eddie Brock.
lot. You watch a lot of films.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. His character is Eddie Brock.
Yeah.
hmm What did you think of the last Venom movie? Last Dance. Did you see it?
Actually, I have not seen it yet.
Okay. Did you see Venom Let There Be Carnage?
Yeah.
What you think of that one?
Oh, okay.
What you think of it?
I don't think anything. It's a film and it's excited to watch it.
Did you? So you liked it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Venom Let There Be Carnage. Woody Harrelson played Carnage, so um, I seen bits and pieces of it. I guess it stuck to the idea of the comic book. I forgot Venom Carnage's name in the character. What is the scariest science fiction character ever?
Scared science fiction.
Mm.
I don't know it.
For me, I think it would be Pinhead, which is
Oh,
science fiction horror. Yeah, so I think he's one of the scariest ones of that one. Um, or Freddy Krueger isn't bad. You know, I think Do science fiction writers need to know a
yeah.
lot about science? Do they need to know about the writers? So when they write something, do they need to know a lot about science, or can they just make it up in their head? What do you think?
Actually, they can make it up, maybe, but if it's been something like if they want to teach something in film, they might they must know much more about space or universe.
They can, um, and they could make up some of the stuff like Gene Roddenberry. I
Yeah,
mean, who knew that warp drive would be really a thing to say warp, because warp is just the division of something changing the way it moves or looks. Because when you warp something, you can warp something with, let's say, a pencil by putting a match underneath it, and instead of being straight, it changes directions. So he used the word warp, may put drive on it to change direction. So that's something that became famous, that one day, more than likely, it'll be part of nonfiction for science. So
yeah.
not a bad idea. All right, young sir. Well, we're almost out of time. So what are you doing today for the rest of the day?
Uh, it's good actually,
Okay. Is it
and
nighttime there?
yeah, it's
Okay.
8:30 p.m.
Okay. So you have school tomorrow, huh? Or was it
Yeah,
today? Okay. Well, have a good day at school.
you too.
Go
Have a
out
good
there and
day.
do stuff. Yeah. Well, I've been out of school for a long time. But all right. Thanks a lot. Good seeing you again.
Bye.